Hello and welcome to Feedbackula, the show that snuffles through the wilderness of the comments section like a truffle pig. And like a truffle pig, it wades through quite a lot of poop to get there. Coming up today... Batman can do whatever his high-tech gadgets allow him to. Yes, this week saw the spiffy trailer announcement for Batman Arkham Knight, the next installment in the Cape Crusaders capers. After the last game, Arkham Origins, the franchise is coming back to Rocksteady, the British studio who made the first title. Kevin Conroy is also returning to voice the Batman, and for the first time, you'll be able to get behind the wheel of the Batmobile. Understandably, there was a fair amount of excitement.
Oh, jeez. My adrenaline went over acceptable limits just now. I very much hope this game turns out to be amazing.
Batgasm.
Yes! After the mediocre Arkham Origins made by WB Montreal, Rocksteady back to take over and give us a great Batman game. Can't wait.
After 4 games, you get to drive the stinking Batmobile!
So, are there going to be people in the streets this time, haha?
I've got no idea what you're asking me because that makes no sense, haha.
Kevin Conroy is back. Good. Very good.
Okay, no more meaty Batman with fat forearms. Now I'm starting to care.
Hey, people with fat forearms have feelings too, you know. Of course, while most people were excited, there were a few with considerably less enthusiasm for Arkham Knight. Some, when asked what they'd learned, replied thus.
We learned that they intend to milk the franchise for what it's worth!
We learned that a game that deserved a sequel or two is becoming an annualized franchise by a greedy publisher. Exploit us, please.
Batman's gotta do something else instead of slumming around Arkham all the time.
How about not a broken game this time, huh?
Will this turn out like the last one, where they rather push out DLC instead of fix bugs?
Different developer, stick. Check the facts.
Well, that's not the most polite way of putting it, but yes, it is a different developer this time round. You stick. On the whole then, people are happy the Arkham franchise has returned to Rocksteady, but that's not all. There's another big difference setting Arkham Knight apart from Origins. Multiplayer. Arkham Knight won't have multiplayer. Yeah, saying they don't have time for multiplayer because they want to make a better single-player experience, Rocksteady is throwing over the mode entirely, ensuring you'll be exploring Arkham and breaking noses all by your lonesome. Ordinarily, you'd think this would be enough to whip commenters into a sweary rage, but in actuality, they seem kind of... pleased?
Glad to see Rocksteady going against the grain when it comes to multiplayer being shoehorned and forced into IPs and franchises. They just don't need them.
I wonder if we'll be able to run over enemies with the Batmobile.
Screw you, multiplayer. Good riddance. I hope all next-gen games follow suit and abandon multiplayer. Gaming got ruined by all this co-op and multiplayer bullshit. It's time proper games with good single-player campaigns came out. I missed such games for too long.
I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I think Titanfall might struggle a bit if the multiplayer mode got taken away.
Yes, fuck multiplayer, the shit mashup that held me from buying Origins, along with the crappy developer.
Hell yeah, no multiplayer! I enjoy playing with myself! Oh, wait.
Wanking gag. That user made a wanking gag.
No multiplayer? Win me. Doesn't have a problem with it. But the game better off without it.
I just don't seem to get why people hate multiplayer these days. Don't get me wrong. It's more important to focus on single player. But what's wrong if someone decides to add a multiplayer mode after? Are people still going to complain? I just don't get a lot of things these days.
Steady on, Chargeman 1991. If that's your birth year, then you're not even 25. Don't write yourself off as senile just yet. I think the reason people take issue with multiplayer being tacked onto games is that it takes a lot of time to get right, and it's time that could be spent on the single player, especially if the multiplayer then sucks. Take Far Cry 3, for example. Great game, really strong single-player campaign, nutsack multiplayer mode. Nutsack mode, Far Cry 3 Nutsack Multi-Mode. So while a few people may miss the multiplayer mode when Arkham Knight launches, it's nice to see a developer stepping up and saying it's not actually essential. That's all from me for this week. I'll be back next time when wait a minute, have I been singing the Spider-Man theme this whole time?
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that actually.
Ah, fuck.